Hey folks, Grant Gunnison here from Zero Homes. I have been getting asked a lot recently how we're able to remotely design heat pump systems when everyone else seems to do it in person, and what the capabilities of our design platform are, and just how exactly it is that we do what we do. So I thought I'd take a minute to show you what our design platform looks like, how it works, and how we are able to really confidently design well design heat pump systems for homes. So what you're looking at here is our main design platform. This is what we call the editor, where you can view a floor plan. You can actually parameterize all the assemblies, look at heat loads, all the photos and such that homeowners send us. And I'm just going to walk you through that quickly. And in a minute or so, we'll actually look at designing a multi-split heat pump system for this home. So just quickly taking a look here at the left flyout, this is where all of our assemblies live. So walls, doors, foundations, floors, windows, etc. This is where we can actually select, individual assemblies. We can create assemblies if we need to. Sometimes, need to create very detailed assemblies, so we can do that in here. And we'll get into zones here in a second. But on the bottom part of our editor here, we have the main console. This is where all the analysis results come back through. So what you're seeing here are manual J results for heating and cooling, both sensible and latent, and then broken down by assembly type throughout the house. And so you can, as a designer and our advisors really need to look at this so they can really dial in both the heating load and then also ultimately design for a house. On the right-hand side, you can see all the photos, the assets that are sent to us of a house. So we can make sure we have all the context about the home, making sure that we can select the right equipment, making sure it fits, and the like. And then there's a little bit more information over here around the weather, orientation of the house, all sorts of things that are important in making sure that, again, our advisors have all the context they need to properly do a layout and spec equipment for a home. So quickly, maybe the last bit here is just this main canvas. This is interactive. We're going to play with this here in a second. Great way to quickly visualize the house, all the windows, doors, etc., and lets us do all the analysis we need to on this house. So that's really it on the main screen. We're going to jump in now and actually talk through what it's like to design a multi-split system for this house. And the first thing we need to do is actually create the zones for the house, really how we're going to cut up the thermal boundaries. And typically when we do this, we have a nice, rich conversation with a homeowner about how it is that they like to control the temperature in their house. So there's lots of different ways to zone homes. And we want to make sure, of course, when we're doing this, that we're doing it in the way that the homeowner is going to want. So it's nice because they can see the screen here and we can just talk together about how that's actually going to work. And I've already zoned this house here specifically, so you can quickly get a look. But typically this is over 5-10 minutes and talking through how homeowners would like to control the temperature in an individual room. So 4 different zones I've laid out. We got a primary bedroom. We have this extra room, a room they rent out, a primary bed and bath, and then the main living zone of this house as well. What you may have noticed, you can see the heating and cooling loads change, of course, as we've enabled room by room loads in this house. So that helps our designers be able to select the proper equipment, and also helps generally try to zone homes so that you can figure out what's going to work for a single piece of equipment, whether it's indoor units or outdoor units. Once we've gotten the zoning correct, then we're going to jump in and actually do quick layout. So I'll show you what this looks like, and we'll just grab a couple pieces of equipment and lay out a system for this home. So we're going to do multi-split systems. So that's going to be a number of indoor units, and I'll just try to stick them in places that make sense here. This is a system that we've already designed for a homeowner, so I'm pretty familiar with the home and what we need to do to get this properly set up. So I'm skipping a few details because of that, but what we sort of end up here with is 4 individual zones. Again, the main zone and these bedrooms all set up to have proper heating and cooling. Then we're going to do our outdoor unit. And, in a lot of ways, this enables another nice, rich conversation about not only, how many units you need in the zones, but also then where are the units going to go in these rooms? And, is there a bookshelf there? Is there a painting? Is there a window? How are they actually going to fit in the room? And how is that going to drive comfort in individual rooms? So now that we have the main equipment actually laid out in the house, we can do a couple of additional things. We're going to need to run some conduit and some line sets on the outside of the house. And so we do want to make sure that we have that conversation as well with homeowners. I'm going to put down the main breaker panel out here so that we can run electrical quickly. And, it's pretty nice. You can visually represent what that's going to look like on the canvas here. And that's great because homeowners do have questions around how we're actually going to run, electrical and what that's going to look like, just as much as they want to understand, whether we have to run conduit and line set on the outside of the house. And, what does that actually look like? Where is it going to go? Is it going to be an eyesore? Can they paint it? All sorts of questions come up as we do this. So it's really helpful to be able to get through those while we're doing a design so that we can really just help make sure that homeowners know what it is that are actually going to what's actually going to happen in their house, and make sure that they have an opportunity to actually ask all those questions. And so this is a really great way for us to, have an interactive way to, talk through some of those components and what the finished product is actually going to look like for them. So, in about 5 minutes here, we were able to zone out that house. We were able to lay out a system here that's going to deliver, the proper heating and cooling for this home. And, the next step would be making sure that we select the exact equipment that's going to meet the heating load for this house. You know what? We're actually I'll just quickly show you what electrical looks like. We're not going to do this, but we can also do, basically the single line diagram for a house and make sure that when we select the outdoor equipment for this house, making sure that we can actually put that in, main panel, or if we can't, what the solution will then look like for upgrading the electrical system in the house. So all just to say, pretty quick and easy, nice way to have a really rich discussion with a homeowner, and gives us the confidence that we're actually designing systems properly for the home. So hope that gives you a good idea of what our design platform can do and how we work with homeowners to get system designs done. Thanks, everyone.